last night I finished Leave Me Behind by K.M. Moronova, and I need to talk about it because this was so good, okay? Like, this is a dark romance. Check your triggers. There might be spoilers. I liked this book. I liked this book a lot. This is a dark military romance. I don't even honestly know where to start because I got really reading this book. Okay, so Nell is the last member of her dark ops team, and her whole team dies, and so she gets reassigned to this other team. And she's like, oh god, these guys, I'm kind of like, I'll be fine. I'll be fine working with them as long as it's not this guy who's supposed to be super scary. And on her way to her reassignment, she's like, I'm gonna have a one-night stand, like a last fling. Turns out that last fling is the guy she's kind of afraid of. And whew. Okay, so they have a one-night stand and they realize, oh my gosh, you're the person that's coming to my team, you're my new partner, and they like immediately decide they hate each other, okay? She wants to be on the team to discover what happened to her last team, and he doesn't want her on the team because he is a broken person. There is a lot going on that they aren't aware of while they're kind of bullying each other. This is a bully romance, so they are kind of like, I think he's being more mean than she is, but like there is some bullying happening. But there's a lot of stuff going on that like they don't necessarily know about, and I think that was really interesting once they started to become aware of how the story was playing out. Like they were like, this isn't quite right, and this is not quite what I want. And then I loved the ending. I loved it. Like I loved this book. I can't even. As many red flags as these characters had, I still loved them. I loved their characters. I loved their character development. I thought that they were so interesting to read. They were so interesting. I don't know why this book isn't rated higher. I'll be honest, like I couldn't put it down. I think I started at 10 o'clock at night, and then I read until 2 in the morning. When I was supposed to be reading Iron Flame, I didn't want to. I wanted to read this because mood reader. But I read till 2 in the morning, and when I woke up at 7 because my kids are up that early, immediately I was like, here's your breakfast. I'm gonna read my book. And then I finished it. I finished it while my kids were getting ready for the day, and I could not put it down. I couldn't put it down. I will have feelings about this one for a long time. I think this one's going to be one of my favorite books. I will say that. One of my favorite dark romances. There is stuff in this book that might be a little bit intense for some people. I loved the story. I thought it was intriguing and interesting the entire way through. I thought that the character development by the end of it, like these two really broken people, they end up finding each other in a weird, dark way. That was just entertaining to read. Please go read this one. Please go read this one and then come back and tell me. And then go read this one and then come back and tell me if you liked it. I want to know. I want to know if you liked this. I know it's not going to be for everybody, but it definitely was for me.